Hello and welcome to Minerals, Rocks, and Fossil Talks. I'm your geology teacher, Jen, and it's time for some Wordplay Wednesday. Let's learn about unconformities. An unconformity is a word used quite often by geologists. This is in reference to a contact between rocks that are unconformable or that were not deposited in sequence. There are several types of unconformities. For example, we're going to look at this photograph that I took at the John Day fossil beds. The pale strata on the bottom is the John Day Formation from the Eocene, Oligocene, so about 56 to 23.03 million years ago. This is primarily welded tuff and tuffaceous siltstones and stuff like that. The dark strata on top is that of the Miocene Columbia River basalts and the volcaniclastic rocks associated with that. Hard to see? Let me help you out here. So here I've added a line between the two layers, approximately between the two layers. So there is a distinct erosional surface between the two layers. It's kind of hard to see in the picture, but when you see it in person, you can see those erosional layers for sure. This is called a disconformity. A disconformity is an unconformity between parallel layers of sedimentary rocks, which represents a period of erosion or non-deposition. So, you can see that they're parallel, they're both tilted at the same angle, so they were uplifted at the same time, but they were deposited in different time periods, in different events, and there was probably a period of either erosion or non-deposition in between them. Make sense so far? Now we're going to pop over to the Wind River Gorge in Wyoming. This is another kind of unconformity called a nonconformity. A nonconformity occurs when sedimentary rocks are deposited on top of igneous or metamorphic rocks that have been eroded. So in this photograph, Cambrian flathead sandstone was deposited on top of eroded Archean granite. That is a major difference in rock type and a major difference in time. So there was definitely some erosion during the Proterozoic, which is in between the Archean and the Cambrian. And that's a lot of time in between them. This might look familiar. Perhaps you've heard of the Great Unconformity in the Grand Canyon? It's pretty famous even by non-geologists because it's so easy to recognize. It is the final kind of unconformity, the angular unconformity. An angular unconformity is a gap in the geologic record where tilted, eroded rock layers are overlain by younger horizontal layers of sedimentary rocks. Still not sure you're seeing it? Let me help. So the blue line is indicating where the unconformity is. The red lines are showing you the horizontal layers on top and the tilted beds on the bottom. It also helps that they're different colors, but it helps to point out what's going on here. So in review, an angular unconformity is a gap in the geologic record where tilted, eroded rock layers are overlain by younger horizontal layers of rock, sedimentary rock. A nonconformity is where sedimentary rocks are deposited on top of igneous or metamorphic rocks that have been eroded. And a disconformity is an unconformity between parallel layers of sedimentary rocks, which represent a period of erosion or non-deposition. I hope you've learned a bunch today about unconformities. Remember this because it'll be useful for next week's Trivia Tuesday, along with all the stuff we learned about with Nicholas Steno last week. So I hope you're retaining all this information or reviewing the videos so that you can be prepared to answer more questions. And I will show you some of the questions that we got asked in college. It'll be fun. Tune in tomorrow to learn about the father of paleontology. So we've done the father of geology. It's time to do the father of paleontology, because why not? And I will fossilize you later.